Let's get it started. Our shopping live. This one is the last one, actually. Then we all going to say goodbye. And those who haven't finished the course yet, they are given 2 months to finish it in a good prime. So let's see how it's going to be for them, how it's going to go. I'm sure that a lot of people who have already finished, they have benefited a lot, and because they were able to practice their English or improve their English for the past 3 months, and I think that was a great experience ever. Let's see who's gonna join because today it's Saturday, and I think I am expecting at least 2 or 3 students to join me today. To speak English is not a chore. I'd say of course it's a must, but what is more importantly, what is more important, you have to speak fluently, which means you would not feel any resistance, let's say, of your vocabulary or your somewhat disability to communicate on certain topics. Waiting for my students. Let's see who is joining. Okay.
Hello.
I already see one of them.
I'm sorry, I'm not at home. Uh, we are in the car.
Oh, I
My
can see
family and
that.
I
Okay.
in the car.
So I
Uh,
guess you can listen.
can you hear me good or not?
I can hear you well, but yeah, but
Okay, I'm right. I'm well.
yeah, you're ready to listen.
How was your uh, week?
The week was fantastic. Okay, now we're going to talk about shopping. So just to avoid any noise coming from you, I will mute you for now. Okay, don't take it personally. It's for everyone's convenience. Thank you very much. Bam. Okay, just have to do it fast. Because when you cannot find a quiet place, like let's say, like Tatiana and I, we are definitely surrounded by pretty good conditions, right, Tatiana?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little.
Okay. See, so which means we do not cause any inconvenience.
Hmm.
So people
Right.
who make some noise, they can become active listeners, but they can't really talk because they make a lot of noise. I think it's pretty understandable. They do understand. Okay, so this is definitely the final live for sure. I'm not going to do anything else because I'm getting ready for another set of students. And so your feedback, I just want to thank you one more time. It was priceless. I am working according to what you guys have been sharing with me for the past 3 weeks at least. And today we're going to talk about shopping.
Yeah.
It's something we had to postpone because you know why? My neighborhood was on fire and I had to flee.
Mm.
Flee,
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Run.
remember.
Yeah. But the courageous team of firefighters, they put it out, and just 2 or 3 hours later, I was able to go back to my small, very cozy habitat.
That's good.
I have to sound dramatic uh, to make too much out of this. All right, shopping vocabulary. Okay, so the plan for today. So we're going to go with our shopping vocabulary just to make sure that everything is still clear and nothing has been forgotten because I know that we forget at pretty fast rate, especially if we do not repeat or don't use. People just cannot keep anything in their mind. It goes away. So that's why practicing and speaking English every day. This is probably the only thing which can help you keep all that vocabulary in, I'd say, active zone of your brain. I don't know where exactly that is, but I believe it's somewhere inside. Okay. All right. So the vocabulary itself. Shopping. Okay. So we're talking about planning. Yes, what we do before
Mm-hmm.
uh, spending money. Then we have to look for it, search, like to understand where to find that. Then once we have found, then we have to get into um, verbal interaction with people who are in charge to sell. So that's why we need to get the best deal, bargain, and this is what we call choice. We are choosing.
Mhm.
Then purchasing itself, so it's the moment when we are ready to use our debit or credit card or pay in cash. It depends on if you're hiding your income from tax department, because living in Russia, you have to be quiet about your money. Uh, well, it happens. Okay, so unless, or maybe you just pay taxes and you come completely clean. Um, Anyway, purchasing. Okay, so the and maybe some issues, problems, or anything related to purchasing. That's the vocabulary itself. Oh, wrapping. Okay, so now you're happy. You're just out of that checkout zone, and it is time you pack your things or you wrap them up. Let's say if you bought something as a present, then of course you want to have a nice wrapping to surprise your lovely member, family member, or maybe just yourself, because you have this exclusive taste of life, which I personally have nothing against. Okay, so we're good. Okay, then we come home, and then oh my God, surprise! This is not what we wanted. Something is broken, so probably we have to go back to the store and we have to return that item. And of course, we want to get refunded. Like I have to tell you that this past week I had to go back to Prisma because I bought a bunch of rotten tomatoes, and I couldn't understand that until I actually came home, because what happened, the tomatoes, they were upside down and I couldn't see the bottom of those tomatoes. Once I opened that package and was just about to start making my summer salad, I realized that they were rotten. So I had to go back to the store and to make sure that they refunded me. And then what happened? Okay, so online purchases. This is very common right now. Busy mommies and just lazy people or people who are smart in terms of using their own personal time. They do They do the shopping online, which saves you a lot of time. And maybe you overpay because you also have to pay for delivering those goods, those food, that food. But in the long run, you actually save money because you don't need to go to the store yourself. You don't need to choose. You don't need to get in line. So definitely, you are saving more than you're losing. All right, Tatiana will be in and out, I guess. So pretty much talking to myself again. All right. So what I recommend, okay, we read shopping terms, shopping vocabulary. We got to read this, and so I guess I could share it with you one more time by using Hangouts. Yeah. Nope, I cannot. Okay, well, actually, I will just copy paste. Okay, let's see how it works. Copy paste will work definitely. Okay. A lot of terms you need to know if you want to get to upper intermediate or, yeah, upper intermediate level, I'd say. Because when you're pre-intermediate, then you just say like, I would like to pay. So can I get my money back? That's very common and trivial. But if you want to work on your vocabulary, expand to make sure that you speak, you have no problem speaking, then this is the right amount. All right, the terms themselves. Okay, planning. All right, Tatiana, welcome back.
Yeah, again, internet connection.
Oh my God. Okay, probably it's time you update it, upgrade it, or just maybe chose another provider.
Or maybe a new telephone. I think
Oh, if it's your phone, then
yeah.
definitely the course is over, so no more expenses. You'll be able to buy a new phone.
maybe.
You can combine if your birthday is coming. So you could just ask your husband, boyfriend, whoever you have there, and perhaps put some money together and go to the nearest electronics store and buy a new cell phone.
Actually, tomorrow is my husband's birthday, and my birthday is in 4 months.
Okay, you can wait.
Yeah.
Or you
So,
can be a smart woman and you can say like, because it's your birthday, honey, but I should get a present too. Um,
I'll think about it.
all right. So what I would like us to do, I would like us to go through this long list of vocabulary once again, just to refresh our memory, and then we will talk about it. We'll share some kind of experience. Okay.
Mhm.
We'll have to talk about each category separately, and then we will combine that. So put that in one big long story. Okay, 2 minutes, I think, just to go through skim. We say like skim through when you read pretty fast. You don't need to read into every phrase like to make sure. No, 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 no. We're not going to do this. Welcome back, Olga. Okay,
Hello.
One more time. Yes, you're joining us for this last time. All right, what we're about to do, we're going through shopping vocabulary just to make sure that we remember every term again. Okay. And people who are highly organized, they normally have a big folder with every topic. I won't point my finger at some of you, but I do
It's in
believe
the
that
car. In the car.
it's in the car. Okay, well, people who were organized, who used to be organized, okay, but no longer because the course is over and you can relax.
No. To tell the truth, I joined one more course. It's and all the week I'm a bit lazy. I don't know. Maybe it's just the weather.
What is that
It's
course dedicated to?
communicative approach.
English. Must
Yeah,
be
yeah.
English.
Yeah.
Okay, then communicate, please.
Give me 1 second. I want to try. But what are we supposed to do? We are going to discuss the topic shopping. Yeah. Am I right?
Right, absolutely right. Yes, and if you
Yeah.
go to our chat, then you will see that
Yeah.
I
I
was
saw that. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. What are we supposed to do now? Should we?
We're going
Shall
for
I
the
find
terms. Yeah, what?
terms? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get updated on this.
Oh, really?
Well, okay, so if you know them, okay, great. Then just start thinking about your story because I will give you 3 minutes and you will have to share your story, which will include some terms from each category. That's how it's going to be.
Not an easy task, to tell the truth.
Oh, for people who are successfully finishing this course, I'm sure it's easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Where are these people?
They're probably in front of me. I hope.
Probably. It's a good word.
Because Tatiana was the past weekend, she was talking about spontaneous speech. I guess that's probably the right time. It's about time
To
you
improve.
demonstrated
To improve
spontaneity. Come on, spontaneity. That's all we need. You
What
can
are we
just tell
supposed
me about your
to do?
routine.
Are we going routine?
All right, I'll be clear. Okay, so read the terms.
Yeah.
Go through them. Okay, read pretty fast. Skim through, as we say. Okay.
Shopping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shopping. Yes. Okay. Don't make me aggravated.
No.
I have a like 0.5 tolerance today.
Thank you very much. What is the weather like in St. Petersburg? It seems to me that it's quite
It's
nasty.
sunny, but still windy and a bit cold. Chilly, I'd say. So it would be probably very careless just to go for a walk wearing shorts.
It's plus 20 here. And it
Yeah.
is so pleasant to be outside, to tell the truth. I'm just from work, and I was preparing for Easter, visiting my relatives with the kulich. I think we don't have to translate this word, yeah?
You can say just Easter cake or something.
Easter cake. So, yeah, I was presenting Easter cakes to my relatives and eggs, chocolate eggs mostly, to kids. It's a good thing, to tell the truth. Especially when you give sweets to children, they're so happy. And I'm in a very good mood, teacher.
That's good. That's good. Let's not spoil it, okay?
Yeah.
Let's not make it any worse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okie dokie,
Oh.
okay. I'm not able to join today, okay? Oh, okay, I'm gonna cry here a river.
Yeah. Yeah, Valeria is not going to join us.
She's probably tired, okay, and she's still on week 2, I guess. So
No. Yeah, a bit tired. No. But still, she's trying to improve her language as well. As far as I know, she visited some kind of webinar. Or no, not webinar, but seminar. Yeah, in Tumen. Yeah.
all right, let's get to it, okay?
Yeah.
I like small talks, but I like to do what we plan.
Okay.
All right. So right now, we'd like to share a story or think of a story, some kind of experience. Maybe it could be a 3-minute story where you would have to use 5 or 4, at least some terms. Okay, I cannot exactly say the exact number, but it has to be at least some terms from each category. Okay. So it's again can be you expressing your opinion on something. That's probably, by the way, a very good activity for teachers when you teach somebody to tell what they think about something, like maybe buying a new car. Okay, and so you kind of like sit and think about this because normally people don't really talk much because they are probably people of a few words or people of few words. Yeah, that's the phrase. Okay, so okay, do I need to give you any time to prepare, or would you like me to start to show you an example? I mean, you know that I like to talk, so, but it's your time.
Yeah. It seems to me that it's going to be if we are planning to use at least, as you say, 5 terms from
Yeah.
each topic.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big story about nothing.
From the shopping, but
Okay,
from
story.
each category.
It's going to be shopping.
We're today talking about only shopping.
Only shopping. Okay.
Yeah, because we skipped that a few weeks ago. I guess it was a month ago. I remember that it was me who asked you to postpone, so I am paying my debt. Lannisters always pay their debts, okay? All right, anyway, okay, so probably I will start, okay, because everyone is quiet, okay, so you can listen to me. And because we do have quite enough time, because there are only three of us, and Tatiana is in and out. So Julie can't really talk because she is riding the car with her husband, so she's a very active listener. So which means it just leaves you and me.
You and me.
Yeah.
Used to be together. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Great song. Okay. All right. So I think that every family nowadays every family needs to buy a car. I can understand that it's pretty hard to spend a significant amount of money on buying something expensive like a car, because to some people it would be a waste of money, because they would easily say you can use public transport and then maybe buy a new flat. So there's always a difficult choice between buying a car and probably paying for some comfort in your life, or just getting yourself a place, your own place, where you could live. Okay, but if you think about buying a car, so that car actually plays a significant role in whatever you do. So you want to take your sick kids to the hospital. So again, it's better if you have your own car. Okay, you want to get to the office fast, it's your car. Okay, you don't want to be dependent on Tajik drivers because you don't trust them, and you're not yet ready to pay for Uber Black, which is quite pricey. So again, you come down to pretty much the only smart option, which is buying your own car. But of course, you probably have to wait for sales because you do think about how much money you make, and that there's always this problem. You run out of money pretty fast. Yes. And so you have to find a good deal. So what you have to do, I think, you have to shop around. You need to ask your friends around. Okay, what maybe they know somebody who could help you to buy a car at a very good price. Okay, so I think that window shopping is also a good idea because you could sign up for a few driving tests just to see if you like before to like, yeah, just to see if you like your future car before actually paying. Okay. I would not go for the cars that are in fashion. I would probably think about the capacity of that vehicle to see if, like, my whole family can fit in. Let's say if I have pretty fat, some fat family members, so I need to make sure that they can fit in and I can drive safely. And I do recommend that that car would have automatic transmission because mechanical transmission is just this pain in your, as I have to say, because you have to deal with everyday traffic. You will get stuck in traffic. You will run into different traffic jams, and that's gonna be pretty hard for you if you decide to go with mechanical transmission. Okay. Also, you have to once you go to a car dealer, and you really have to bargain about the price because they always want to get more money from you, and even some of them, they dream about ripping you off. So what do you have to do? You always need to demonstrate to a seller that you have a lot of options, and this, let's say, this deal is not the only one you have. Okay, so make sure that you did not haggle over the price forever. So if they don't want to, if they cannot offer you the best deal, then of course you can walk out on them or walk away. Okay. So think about if that car includes maybe 3 or 5 year warranty, because if you pay for something that does not have any warranty, then it's not worth paying. Okay. Then if you can get some, a few extra options, like, definitely that will be a good value for your money because you will not need to buy maybe winter tires, okay, or some, let's say, an extra set of maybe pads. Yeah. All right. And if you really want to surprise your family members, then you can even ask for wrapping that thing up, because I see a lot of husbands, they ask to wrap a nice, brand new car up for their second half. Yeah. Okay, and always check money back policy to see if you can get a refund. Maybe you change your mind. Maybe something happens and you will really need your money back. So kind of like that. And of course, I think it's pretty stupid to buy a car online, and I actually think it's not possible yet because it is something that you have to go and to get that in person. All right, I'm done. Okay, kind of like that. All right. So you guys can talk about something else. Maybe something you have already bought. Maybe a house, a flat, whatever. Okay. Who wants to be a guinea pig? Oh, come on, nobody wants to be one after me. You get my full support. Oh, I feel like, I have to push. I still have to continue pushing people who have already finished their race. Come on. Why don't we just run 20 more kilometers? But I have already finished. Come on, just for fun. Come on, just consider this time practice so that you can get some extra practice, huh? Tatiana, okay, come on, save the day.
Um, so I would like to tell you about. So many years ago, I dreamt of buying a fur coat. I don't know what for, but I just wanted to have a fur coat. And I went window shopping and
Mm-hmm.
shopping around and comparing prices, trying to find the best deal. So I um, so as I wanted to buy it in a shop, not at the market, I couldn't haggle over the price.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to have good value for money. It was very important for me to buy a fur coat of high quality. So the fur should have been perfect and finally I found such a fur coat. It was extremely expensive and it was very beautiful. And the price was, I think, 6 or 7 times more than my monthly income.
I'd say like 6 times more expensive.
Yes, 6 times more expensive. And but I was really eager to buy it.
Huh.
And I think now I realize that the size didn't fit me perfectly. It was a little bit bigger, and but still, I just wanted to buy it.
Mhm.
And I don't know how I managed to save that amount of money.
Yeah.
Um, but I bought it without any loans, taking any loans, and borrowing money from somebody. And I paid the full price in cash because at that time the credit cards or debit cards were not so popular. And just now I realized that that purchase was just a waste of money because I actually didn't wear it, this fur coat, too often. I prefer to wear um, some gown coat or something like that.
Or down jacket.
Yes, gown jacket, and because I often commute to work by public transport, and it's just unreasonable to wear a fur coat in the bus and
But at
manage.
least you had nice photo session in that coat, yeah.
I am not a person of photo sessions. I don't like taking pictures of myself, and I even don't have any selfies. Do you believe me?
I do believe you because the only selfie I have is right here. Okay, that's the
Yeah,
only selfie I can take of you.
yes. So
So if you could, let's say, if you could, would you? Would you have? Would you have thought otherwise? Would you have, I don't know, returned your money, or you would have bought something else?
I just wouldn't buy it, I think.
I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have bought it, yeah. Uh,
But it
and
suits you, right?
maybe,
Huh?
huh?
But it
It,
suits you. That fur coat,
yeah,
does it suit you?
yes, of course. It's very beautiful color and very beautiful fur, and the quality is perfect. So
So
It's
what's the regret?
I just don't wear it. I don't know why. I
It's
don't regret, but I think it was some kind of an impulse purchase.
It's
Not
probably because you started on there's a different order. Once you get to the fur coat, okay, there are different things that have to be purchased before. You need to buy a car, so uh, before you buy a fur coat, you need to make sure that your man can drive you around, so that
uh, actually, I think we by that time have we had already had a car. And
okay,
yes,
then go
and
to theater.
we lived very close to my workplace, and so it was it snowed very often, and it's not very good for the fur to when it snows, because it can damage it. And
But people
so
say
it's
that
just
you can always sell it again. You can resell that. You can sell to somebody else.
I can sell it, but I won't get a lot of money, because you see, the once you bought it from the shop,
It loses.
it loses, yes, its price dramatically.
Well, it's
So
like a car, 30%.
yeah, yeah. Not I think not even 30%, even more, maybe 70%, because we have some companies that buy old fur coats, but the money they offer are very, very
So the amount of money you paid
low.
was that the right price, or you think that you were ripped off?
I think it was a reasonable price for that quality fur coat. I wasn't ripped off, because I saw much more expensive pieces, and those pieces were like a rip off, I think. So in general, I think I made a good deal, but
When exactly was it? 20 years ago?
no, not 20. 12, 12 years ago. Yeah, 12 years ago.
You, as I understand, you live in a pretty small town.
Not very big, 600,000 citizens.
I mean, I'm sorry, but in
It's small.
comparison with my city, that's
It,
small.
yes, yes, it's small.
Okay, so 12 years ago, that's what you said, at least. Those fur coats, were they in fashion?
They are still in fashion, actually, because it's very cold here in the winter, and women prefer to wear fur coats than some other clothes. And
Okay.
I think some women even think that it's like a perimeter of a good life to have such kind of a fur coat. And
That's a
but
beautiful
people,
stereotype.
yes, but people are different. So I have a friend who buys a new fur coat every year, and I bought it once, and I didn't like it.
Well, kind of like a very soapy story.
Yeah.
Like makes me want to cry for no reason. Uh,
You
if
shouldn't cry.
if it's not a secret, like how much did you pay? I mean,
Uh,
speak your mind.
yeah, I just want in so I try not in rubles. I remember how much it cost in rubles, but you see the prices were quite different from
That's okay,
I
like
bought
50,000 rubles, 100.
more 73,000 rubles.
Oh, not bad. Okay, so I'm sure you felt like one of the richest women in your town
Maybe.
that day.
So it was really expensive for me. Maybe for somebody it wasn't expensive, but
Yeah,
me
well,
was
it's always a
really.
matter of how much money you make. Oh, let's listen to what Olga has to say because I'm sure she's probably going to talk about and what I don't know, maybe fur socks.
Okay, I unmuted myself. So I'm going to talk to you about Gidra scooter. There is the. Have you ever heard of it?
Hoverboard.
Really? What?
What exactly you're talking about? You're talking about a toy for your kid?
Yeah.
Hoverboard.
He?
Okay, I'll just write it here.
Yeah. Because we call it. I thought that it is just in English something. For me, it was quite strange, but
That's a new thing. Hoverboard. A battery-powered personal vehicle consisting of two wheels arranged side by side, joined by two small platforms on which the rider stands. Okay, electrical device. So it's a hoverboard. You're not the first student. So I work with teens, or at least I used to work with teens, and that was one of those very commonly discussed topics. Like, Dad,
what?
I want to buy a hoverboard. What do you think? Which one should we get? Like, so yeah.
Hover? Can you hover? What is this word from? I cannot just hoverboard. Yeah.
It's already in our chat, but probably you cannot see what I have typed. No,
Mm-hmm.
can you?
No, I can't see. Why not? I don't know why.
Okay, well, it's spelled exactly. You hear it. So hover, it's HOV, yeah, ER.
Yeah, board. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that is. So I'm going to talk to you about hoverboard. That's the purchase we've been discussing for a year already.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
last year, my son, but of course before he saw kids on hoverboards and he was thinking about it. But the problem is that my son is not as a boy who is somehow connected with sport. He's not a sportsman, and it's quite difficult for him, for example, to ride a bike or whatever. Yeah, and I think
I'd love
and
that
his
boy.
dad his dad was ready to buy him a bike, the best bike ever, but he's not interested in it. And the thing is that he doesn't go for a walk a lot, and so he's busy all the time. And in summer he goes camping and to some other places, to the sea. So there is no time and and there are no places where we could just, for example, go
Ride that
ride.
hoverboard, yeah.
For example, yes. But last year he saw a hoverboard in the park, and he decided to try, and he got in love with it just at that very moment.
Mhm.
As soon as he tried, and I think 10 minutes were enough for him, and he said, "Okay, I'm going to buy this thing."
Or
I
you're
was
going to buy this thing.
He was going to buy. He said, "I'm going to buy it, but I've got only 1,000 rubles." So can you add something
Oh,
or anything? Yeah, and we discussed with it with his dad that maybe it will be a good purchase. Yeah.
mhm.
And we decided to buy him this hoverboard. But then, sometime later, we still went to the park where he practiced his skills, and it was really cool. And I remember that we went on holiday to Moscow. And we're talking to his godmother on the phone, and I told her that we want to buy him a hoverboard. She asked us not to do it because she wanted to make a present for him, and she sent him some money to buy this hoverboard. Oh, such a long story, you know.
That's okay. We have time.
We went window shopping in Moscow, and it's quite difficult for him. He doesn't want to waste money. He's a reasonable spender, really, and he was planning this purchase, and he just was. It seems to me that he was, every time he was describing me his hoverboard. Yeah. Later on, he decided that all their prices were quite high, and all those shops were going to rip him off.
Yeah.
And so in Moscow, and then he decided that he wanted to find some hoverboard or just on a special offer. We were waiting for a special offer, Then he said, maybe we should find something on sales. So our vacation in Moscow finished. And we returned to our city, to Ishkarala. And then we went to the camp. And then I remember that there was the sea, the mountains. So all there, summer was quite busy with our traveling, with our trips. And only in October, when he was planning to celebrate his birthday, when I asked him, what do you want as a present? He said, maybe a hoverboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
We haven't bought it yet. And it was really funny because when we just discussed it with in our family, I just wanted to know where he's planning to ride. Yeah, because it's October, maybe it's better to think about skis. Yeah.
In the flat. I know a lot of kids.
In the flat. Yeah, why not? Only the flat. So, and he just, and he said, okay, let's leave this money that my good mother presented me for the computer. And now he's saving his money for the computer. So he's still saving his money. But today we went to one of our friends, and the girl has a hoverboard.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah. He was so, I don't know what he just felt at that time, because he saw her riding this hoverboard, and to tell the truth, she gave it to him only twice for 1 minute each, and that's all.
Yeah, this thing is so good, I cannot share it with you. I'm sorry, boy.
Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. Yeah. And so this was it was the time when his granny's heart was broken, and my mom, she said, okay, let's go home. I really couldn't understand why she was so much in a hurry to go home, because just we had some time before our class and so on, and we were planning to walk with our relatives. As soon as we
got home.
No, as soon as we got in our car, she said, let's go to the shop and buy hoverboard for him.
I want your grandma for
this
myself.
time, my mom. This time I wasn't expected such a proposal, because she told me, let's do it together. So we will divide this price. I mean, about 12,000 rubles or whatever.
Let's put money together. Better say.
Put money.
Let's put money together.
Mm-hmm. But my son, he was keeping silent. He was so happy, but he was keeping silent. But I know
he didn't want to spook you.
Money. He's saving money for the computer,
Yeah. I can get two things this
Yeah. So he's saving money for his computer, and he just noticed that it's a good bargain.
I like this notion.
Why not?
Okay. I like what's going on here. Okay, keep talking. Yeah.
I just was looking at him, sitting beside me. Was talking to my mom, discussing it, that because right now I have some other plans, because it's summertime and I'm going to the sea and whatever. And so the thing is that right now he says, okay, let's put money together. So he's going to do it. So this time the situation is getting more interesting. Yeah. And he says, we may call my dad. So, of course, we may call our husband, and I think there will be 4 of us in this hoverboard. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure whether we should do this purchase or not, to tell the truth, because I can see advantages and disadvantages of it, because, as I have already said, I'm not sure whether he's going to ride this hoverboard for a long time or a lot, better say, yeah. And just at the same time, I was looking for it in the internet, and in
On the
our
internet?
town.
On the internet?
On the internet, yeah, looking for it on the internet, yes.
Okay.
And searching for a better price. And to tell the truth, this purse is not so expensive. Of course we can afford it, but I'm a reasonable spender as well, and I think whether we need it or not, because to buy just we have got lots of such kind of toys for my son, for example, Lego toys, how expensive they are, but they are in big boxes, and sometimes he remembers about them, but not all the time, of course. And it doesn't mean that as Tatiana has bought her fur coat and she should wear it all the time. I understand it, yes. And I I bought it, I should. And I don't expect him to ride this hoverboard all the time, but I because I know some families, some of my friends, and they say that when they bought it some years ago, it took them for their children to 2 or 3 months to just to get tired of it, and that's all. Or maybe one hoverboards of my friend's hoverboard is broken. She says you can take it if you want or whatever. But I'm just thinking, and besides, I think that it is out of fashion already. And
So just a good phrase for you, like it was not a matter of affordability. It was more a matter of It was not a matter of affordability. You know this word, to afford something? Yes.
Yeah.
Affordability. It was not a matter of affordability for my family. It was more a matter of being money wise,
Yes.
or okay, and just to be wise, like just to be as smart, like you said, spender. Because why would you spend money on something that is not going to be needed in just a few months? Maybe there are some other options, better options. Let's say you could go to a park and then just to rent one of those hoverboards, and that would be enough for him. He would wait for this every weekend. Okay, he would get his 1 or 2 hours riding one of those hoverboards, and that's it. So you don't need to maintain that hoverboard. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to clean it. Okay. It's great. So it's like renting a car when you go to another country. You don't want to bring your car with you, right? You just want to rent it, and that's it. So sometimes I think it's better for kids, and plus kids can also learn that some things do not have, some things do not have to be purchased. You don't need to buy them because you can just use them for
That's what we discussed last year.
Yeah.
Last year,
like Tatiana could just rent that fur coat. And for a few days with your husband, and that's it.
It's a good business idea.
You can. I know that in Moscow and you can rent.
So unfortunately, we don't have such kind of offers in my city, but it's a good business idea. I can think of it. And,
you leave a deposit. Like, if I can rent a car, why can't I rent a fur coat?
Yeah, I can give my fur coat to somebody who wants to wear it and make money for my holiday.
Okay, great. All right, Olga. So, what was the outcome anyway? What's the aftermath?
I'm still thinking, really, to tell the truth. I hope that maybe tomorrow we'll all think it over, and yes, as you say, that's not the matter of affordability. It's just the matter of being wise. And right now, I don't have such a plan. I know that's 10,000 rubles, and it's possible. It's about something like that. It's not such a huge sum of money, But anyway, whether just I think we'll discuss it with him, and I'm sure that
Or what
maybe
he could
sometimes
do-
it's just
Mhm.
yeah, we can just go to the park and he can ride this hoverboard and it will be enough for him.
You
Yeah.
can talk about pros and cons
Yeah,
with your son because he is what, 12 or 13?
he is 11.
All right, 11. Okay, he looks like 12. Okay, to me, he's a big fella. So,
Yeah.
11, you could just, and I think he's pretty smart for his age. That's what I
Yes,
understand.
that's true.
He's pretty being logical. Yeah, so you would just like put something on this on the scales, okay? And it's like, hey, son, I got this 10,000 rubles, and what we can do with this money, we can either buy this hoverboard that you will not use in 2 or 3 months, or I have a better idea. Why don't I just add the same amount of money to help you buy a more powerful computer?
Yeah, and he knows that.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I don't want to buy a computer as well.
Oh, mom. Okay. Jeez.
Because I think that he will spend too much time.
You deserve your son. You should know that.
He spends too much time on the internet, in my opinion. He has got a good smartphone and he has got an iPad. I think that is enough because I'm sure as soon as we buy a computer, he will
Well,
spend
then
too
why
much
don't
time.
you just make it
Yeah.
somewhat educational for your son? You would say, like, son, okay, so we can talk about some kind of schedule, like computer schedule. So you do learn a set of programs that I think, every person has to know. Okay, but at the same time, so you kind of like earn points. I still understand that he will have to sit down and learn how to use one of those programs, but at least he will be benefiting from that. So let's say he earns points, like, and when he earns enough points, he can use those points to play or whatever, do something. Okay, still in a very let's say, or dedicated time frame, like, I don't know, Saturday schedule. Yes, he would do this on schedule.
Yeah.
That's what I do with my daughter. At least I say, like, you got to earn some points. You have to do this and that, and then you can do something else, because this is pretty much like in life. But then later it turns out to be making money. So you can work hard. Let's say I'm not talking about working hard at Dixie, okay, because that will not take you anywhere, and you will still be saying, like, I work hard every day, but I eat the sharak. No, it's not smart. You got to work hard, knowing that you can be rewarded. So the reward is pretty high. So you raise the bar, okay? Because it doesn't matter how hard you work at Dixie, you are still going to get your monthly salary. It's fixed, okay? No point to work hard. That's why people don't work hard. And so I think that later that can definitely help kids. I would say, like, adapt better to life later, because they understand it's the same system of values. So I get rewarded if I do something. Okay, but here we play with kids' mind, so to speak. So because we're being smart and wiser. Okay, we're playing sly game. Trying to trick him into doing some things by giving him carrot and the stick, yeah, policy, so to speak. Yeah, sometimes again, just to be like this Iron Lady.
Do you
Uh,
have any problems with computers with your daughter? I mean, maybe not computer, but
the biggest issue is tablets.
Yeah, tablets.
But I make certain rules.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes she violates, but not in my presence, at least. When I am away and I have to work and so on, then mommy, she gives in, and so it's pretty hard. Like if you're from the same platoon, okay, if you're from the same division, army, whatever, okay, camp, then I think you should support the same policy. But in our family, we cannot agree on certain value standards, and that's why we have this unspoken confrontation. Because when I'm at home, I say, like, this is how it must be done, and that's it. Because I try to follow some common sense. Okay, it's not because I said so and that's how it should be. No, I am trying to think in my kids' favor,
Yeah.
because right now it's on me to decide what's good for my kid. Later, when my kid grows up, then it will be on her, on him. So I will no longer have any say, or very little say. Say it means opinion, very little say, because that's it. Okay, your time is up. I'm sorry. Okay, you were given 16, 18 years. Like, what were you doing with that time? Now it's my time to educate myself and do what I want. So no point crying. Oh, my son, I gave you the best I had. I mean, really. So you gotta like project those things, and I always say like, okay, so spending a lot of time. That's why I started paying for drawing classes, because I know that at least it's something that will distract her. I said like, okay, you want to watch cartoon? Okay, let's do this in English, because at least you will uh, do something, let's say, useful. Because
Yeah.
like, just, or I say like, okay, so when she's with me, no mommy erotica, then I say like, we try to speak only English, and I do. And if she says something in Russian, then I say like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't get that, I didn't catch that. Say it again. Okay, what do you want? Say it like 3 times. And maybe I'm this rough daddy, but I know that later on in the long run, she will thank me, because I'm not doing anything bad. I'm doing everything what can make her like a better prepared person for life. Let's say better equipped. If we speak about some kind of costume, yeah, then her costume, her this mold, so to speak, will be better equipped. She will have different options. Like everything will be automatic. Let's say a skill you want to speak another language, bam, press this button. Okay, kind of like that. Or it's pretty empty suit. I mean, I'm not prepared for life. Please help me. And you can see that there are a lot of parent-dependent kids or adults, yeah, that they cannot even make a few steps without without dragging their parents with them. Like, daddy, mommy, please help me get enrolled in this university. Please talk to that guy. I'm shy, and so on. Oh my God, okay, tired of this. But your kid is different. Yeah,
Yeah. That's true.
good. Well, and Tatiana, so you're a mom too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your take on buying a hoverboard?
I So I don't want to buy it, and my son doesn't ask me to buy it. He rides a bicycle very good, and he has a very expensive bicycle. No, maybe not very expensive. So the prices are such. And
I don't know. So,
I mean, it's not 5 or 10,000 rubles to buy a good bicycle. We bought it, I think, 3 years, not three, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it was his birthday present, and he was happy, quite happy. But I think that hoverboards are not good things. They are not useful. They are just for lazy children, I think.
But it's difficult to ride hoverboard, to tell the truth. Today I tried,
I
and I
know
wasn't
they
a
should
success.
they should keep balance, and it's also a special skill, but I just see no use in buying
yeah,
a hoverboard. Yeah.
it's like going to the
It,
kitchen. Yes, mom, where's my hoverboard? Uh, son, I just parked it next to the sofa. Okay, put on sleepers and ride like a king into the kitchen. Yes.
The thing is that we should charge it. That's what I really don't like. And yeah, and if you, for example, it's not a problem when you ride a bike. You can take a bike wherever you and ride this bike as much as you can or whatever. But it won't do with the hoverboard. Yeah.
But I don't see actually a problem. I see this like some kind of advantage because at least a child can learn how to be responsible for their own toys. Like if you want to, because my mom used to tell me, if you like to use your sleigh, yeah, if you like to go down the hill or sleigh down the hill, okay, let's use it as a verb, then you also have to carry it. Like you remember that
Yeah.
proverb, yes,
Yeah,
or this saying. So carry your own sleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's what I learned. And in my closet room, I had a small closet room where I like to spend some time alone and just, I don't know, playing with soldiers, toy soldiers. And on the wall, there was a saying, like that saying. I don't know who did that, but it was written there. So, without hard work, you cannot catch any fish, something like that. And so I clearly learned. I was thinking about that as a kid, so to me it didn't really mean anything. It was just a beautiful phrase, like, okay, so you have to do something to catch something, okay, but what does it mean? Yeah, so like those tablets or gadgets that kids use, I always say, if you want to use, it's your own tablet, so you're in charge of that. And if it gets broken because you drop it or something like that, you will also be responsible. Not that it's not that I'm going to punish you or I'm going to beat you to death, nothing like that, okay, but you will no longer have your gadget because it's not something like we buy every day. If let's say I
Yeah.
drive carelessly, or if I, so then my car can get broken, right? So I will have to pay out of my own pocket for that. And since kids they can't really appreciate the value of money yet, they have to learn how it works, and I think they can learn it through those things. If they can't, like they still, too little, they cannot make any money, then at least they have to do something, like, I don't know, good behavior, okay, they help around the house, those things that kids can actually do. And I did them too because I wanted to get something from my mom, but not without any help given. So I had to do something. I had to be a worthy member of my family. So to be useful, like that's what I keep telling my daughter. You need to learn how to be useful, let's say, in your family and in this society. Because if you're useful, people will come to you. If you, let's say, become quite exceptional, yes. So you're just one of few people who can do something, or you have reached this level of expertise, knowledge, whatever you call it. Okay, so then people will find you. People will come to you. Of course, you have to promote yourself, but the best promotion is a word of mouth. So people will recommend you. And like for the past 5 years, I haven't been promoting myself. And now that I have this course, I have to promote because that's an absolutely different thing. But in terms of like getting new students, I don't have any problems. So people just come to me, and because they know that they will get this exceptional help. So that's what I try to tell my kid. She's 6 years old. Okay, so probably maybe too much for her right now. But anyway, I keep banging on her little mind. Open the door. Okay, so we'll see how it's gonna turn out. Okay, but she's going to school this month and this year. Okay, mommy and I think she's not ready, but okay, life is hard, so you have to learn the hard way, not the easy way.
Why have
So,
you decided to that it's high? Why have you decided that it's high time for her to go to school if she's only, how old is she? 6.
but she's going to turn 7 in November.
In November, and still you can go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, she can read, okay, slowly, but she can. And I remember I was not able to read until maybe until I was half through my first grade. So I was taught how to read in school. But time has changed.
Yes, of course. But anyway, uh, I'm so sorry for children who go to school.
Where else can they go?
Because it's my son went study school when he was 7, and in October he was 8. But at that time, really, I thought that
He
only
turned
that,
8.
yeah, that is.
He turned
And
8, huh?
yeah, I thought that he was ready. Yeah, really. But when I was thinking him to start school when he was 6, I was looking at him and I was so sorry because I think children say goodbye to their childhood as soon as they start school.
Well,
Because the situation in our schools, in my opinion, is quite terrible.
I
because
agree. But what you can do, you can help your kid. Okay, so just make more money and then send your kid to a private school
maybe, maybe,
where
yeah.
you understand that him or her going to school. It's, let's say, it's definitely a great investment because your kid is actually learning something useful there. Not like, let's say, me or a lot of people where I just used to spend time. I mean, I cannot really say that school, of course, taught me something, but I cannot really find it useful because I just had general information or general knowledge on different on a very, what is this? Okay, on a variety of topics. Okay, I'll just put it this way: on a variety of topics, on a range of different subjects. I was a I was a jack of all trades, but a master of none. Yeah. With that kind of knowledge, I tried to enter 3 universities and I failed to my no surprise, of course.
Really?
Oh yeah, I did. Yes. So
And what did you do?
I followed my peers. And so one of my classmates decided to go to a well, it was not a college. It was this technical college, and that's where I went. I went to study accountants.
Useful knowledge,
Accounting.
to
Yes.
tell the truth.
Accounting. Yes. Accounting. Yes. I started
Accounting.
accounting. Yes. Accountants. It's not a word. Okay. So accounting. Yes. And I did that for 1 year. Then I realized it was not for me. I was a good student, but it was not for me. No fun. Okay. I was surrounded by girls. That probably was one of a few pluses.
Yeah.
I had like 30 girls in my group. That was quite a beauty to study with. But then later, I decided to pursue a career of a basketball coach for kids. I did that for about 3 4 years. Okay, then I gave up on that completely because again, didn't bring me any money or very little money, and so I was kind of like bouncing around. Okay, trying to find something I would really like to do. And then somehow miraculously, I went to a camp where I worked as a camp counselor, and I had to work with a group of kids from New Zealand. I could understand very little at that time, so my English was pretty poor. I couldn't really speak, but I really wanted. I don't know, some like those kids. They started some kind of fire in my heart, and I really wanted to communicate. I really wanted to be a part of that small community. And there were 2 girls, Russian girls. They were interpreters. They worked there as 2 interpreters, and they were 16, 15, and I was at that time I was 18 or 19. Yes, and I was super jealous of their ability. I'm like, oh my God, those snotty teenagers can speak and communicate, and I can't. So that made me very angry. And then just a year later, I promised to one of those group leaders that I would start studying English, and then I could not keep my word until I actually went to church, to that American church, and that's where I kind of like rekindled that fire.
So quite an interesting story.
Yeah.
I've heard about American church from you several times, and all those times, I just wanted to ask you, how did it happen that you chose that very way? Because usually, when, for example, people want to learn English, to study English, they go to college, university courses, English, whatever.
It was very
but not
hard
to American,
to
American church.
it was very hard to enter one, okay, because I needed to have a great level of English.
Yeah.
Okay, so I needed to pass exams, and I realized there was another, let's say, well, a more fun way to study. I
How did you find this church? That is
Oh yeah,
because
that was a total coincidence. I had to
Ah.
one of the exams that I had to pass. It was English, and so like one day, okay, one evening, okay, it was 4 p.m. I am walking aimlessly around the college looking for an English teacher, and then I run into one. But it appears that he was not my English, or it appeared that he was not my English teacher. So he was just a random English teacher, some kind of guy. And so, word after word, we started talking, chatting, and I shed some light on my problems. And I said, like, okay, I know how to help you. So just go to that American church. There's a business card. So go today. I'm like, okay, Americans, interesting. Okay, maybe. And then as I went home, so I couldn't forget about that encounter with him. And so I asked myself, like, what else do I have to do? Okay, so my life is pretty boring, and so why don't I just go? So I went there, and then I saw a lot of young adults, missionaries in white shirts, blue ties. Okay, so everybody.
was it
Yeah.
like secta? We call it in
Sect,
Russian.
sect, okay,
Sect.
sect.
Yeah. No.
It looked like I would say an L group right now. It looked like multi-level marketing community, so where people jump, a but I guess right now people scream money, success, okay, new
Yeah.
level,
Yeah.
new title, okay,
Tony
Tony
Robbins. I
Robbins.
think. Yeah. All his seminars start like this. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, you have to wait for Tony like maybe an hour, so he wants to warm you up to keep you waiting for him. Yes. Then when
Yeah.
you're about to go home, he comes out like, "Hey, wait, guy. Okay, I'm ready. Let's start jumping." And you're like, "Oh, okay. You're exhausted. You're totally broken. You're ready for Tony to come into your
You
life."
had practically the same at that American church. Yeah.
No, what? No, it looked actually pretty friendly. So I came in. They gave me a form to fill out, just to understand how good my English was at that time. So the form, I fill out that form, and they said like, hey, according to your grammar skills, you could go to they call this middle group. Okay?
You could go home.
You can go home again. And I said, so I went to well, they just call that middle group, okay, or middle medium, kind of like that. M group, okay. There was B, beginners, medium, and then advanced.
Was it free?
Exactly, it was free. I didn't have to pay a penny. So I went there, and then I couldn't understand anything they were saying. So two guys were just standing in front of a flip chart, talking about their families, showing their family albums, and just speaking fast. I was like, oh my god! I was like listening to monkeys talking, chip chip chip, whatever they were. Those people were talking about, and so. And then one of them said, after, like at the end of that meeting, he said, "Who wants to come again?" I'm like, "I want to come again." Okay, me. He said, "It's free. You don't need to pay anything. Just come." I'm like, "Yeah, I do want." Okay, so what do I need to do? Just come. Okay, so I kept coming, and then later I found out that I kind of like had to join their church to become a member of their community. And I said, like, okay, do whatever you want, do whatever you need. Just do not, what do you call this? Okay, do not keep me back. I guess, yeah, do not keep me back. Just do not send me out of your sight. Okay, I'll say this phrase. Do not send me out of your sight. Okay, like sire, do not send me out of your sight. Yes, don't outcast me, or don't cast me out. Don't send me away. Okay, don't. Yeah, Don't excommunicate me.
What was your mom's attitude? Because I'm sure that
Mom
my
was
mom
against.
would
Mom
say
was against.
no. It's just like a kind of sect. No.
Mom was against. Mom was against. But I clearly reminded mom that 10 years ago, mom was a very active of Herbalife community, and I told her, "Hey, mom, you were a member of another sect, okay? So, and as you can see, the result is practically zero. You're still pretty chubby, and nothing has changed." So mom said,
Mhm.
"Okay, it's your life. Do whatever you want. Just I don't want you to sell our apartment, sell your kidney or whatever." I said,
Because
"Mom,
I heard a lot of cases like that when people
oh yeah,
join some kind of churches. That's why I ask you, because the only it's just maybe the kind of stereotype, yeah. When you just imagine American church, you understand that something is wrong. But it's just my maybe not only opinion
I
but my
had the
kind of
same idea.
experience.
I
Yeah.
had the same idea. I had the same thought. So when I joined them, all right, let's say in my mind, I just have like I'm like this. I have this Titanic structure. Okay, different. Let's say portions or different sections. So one is sunk, then another one is still available. So what I did, I just put the church in another room, like so they had to be there, and they couldn't enter my personal life. Let's say. So
Hmm.
I just put on a mask to get what I wanted, and that's it. Okay, so you want me to be a very active member? Okay, I'll be. What do I need to do? I'll do. That's it. So they don't. They
What
weren't.
were you
Yeah.
supposed to do in that church? What were you supposed? Yeah, I mean studying English.
I
What
had a
else?
calling. I had a
What
calling.
was their point?
The point is to make you pay tithing. Tithing. Tithing is 10% of
But it
your.
was free.
Well, they get to you through a various meetings, a various number of meetings, and reading a lot of chapters from Bible. So
From the
that
Bible.
from the Bible, yes, and then you understand that. Okay, so if I pay 10% of my income, then I can make much more. Okay, let's try. I have paid only once,
And you
just
did
to
it.
test,
But
just
you
to test.
didn't have money. But you didn't have money. You didn't work.
I worked.
Or you worked.
I worked. Hey, I worked. I have been always working. Okay, it was not enough to share, so to speak. I was not able to buy a fur coat for myself at that time, and I dreamt maybe. Okay, I wanted to be like a pimp, wearing this pinky fur coat. Yeah, but okay. So speaking about just strictly English, I was exposed to English on a regular basis. So I spent there 3 hours almost every day. So imagine if you had this. It's like you live in your small America. Okay, uh, so probably my ability, my speaking ability, why I can speak so well is thanks to that church. Okay, not because I went to America. No, nothing like that. It's I was able to learn pretty fast because I had nothing to do. I had nothing better to do. So I worked as a security guard, and then I taught kids. I taught PE at school. So I had two jobs at that time, and then after that, okay, so I had some time. What else? I got carried away. So it was my passion. I mean, it is still my passion. That's probably why I still want to speak better and help others. And so I wanted to speak a lot. So I had this. I was like thirsty for speaking, not for grammar, not for whatever you call that. Okay, different seminars, whatever Mackenzie, Macmillan, different guys who come around and teach you. No, I was just hungry to speak. I wanted to express what I had last week, and I needed some phrases. So I had a lot of copybooks. I was literally just following missionaries, walking them home. Okay, meeting them at the airport. Anything you got for me where I could just chit chat a little. Okay, I was there. So people gave me a nickname, Parrot. I was a parrot because I would bring
Why?
because I would bring a list of phrases. Okay, I had a list of phrases in my copybook, in one of them, and I would just say "howdy" to 10 people. Okay, so and then it was like the first round, and then the second round, and then the third round. So and so people eventually they grew tired of me. They're like, "Hey, you have already asked me that question. I just want to practice." Okay, so that's what I said. Let's imagine I haven't asked you yet. Howdy. It's just uh, I was in every group, and I was like everywhere. Okay, I went to different branches because they used to have a 6 or 5 in St. Petersburg, and I was assigned as a member. I was assigned to a certain location. So I kind of like I could not go to different locations. I was not supposed to, but I talked to the president, like the president of the entire St. Petersburg's mission, and I said, like, I'm a poor student. I really need to improve my financial state, and so English. I think English will help me do that. He gave me his blessing. He said, like, okay, go son, okay, do that. And then so they welcome. Well, I thought they welcomed me. They were just not very happy to see me because I was like taking too much space. Like when I'm in the room, you can feel like I am like everywhere. And people who are shy, timid, and not ready to talk, or they're just like doing like that. Uh, how are you? And then they wait, sit and wait. So they practiced, they trained one phrase, and they're happy that they were able to speak. At least they were able to say one phrase during this 1 hour meeting. And I was just like taking all their time for myself because I was greedy and selfish. Uh, but I knew by speaking a lot, I would become better than them. I would speak better. So, and to me, that was like a clear competition. It's it's you or me speaking more. So let's see who is greedier, who wants it more, who wants it like really bad. And so that's why sometimes people would just ask me to go to another group. They would say like, Vadim, this group is not for you. There, go. Just there was a lot
Hello,
of fun.
Valeria.
Valerie, hi, you're back.
She says that she can't. She says that she can't talk to us because it's quite noisy, but she can listen to us. Hello, we are happy
Yeah, because I'm
to
talking.
see you.
I'm talking a lot today, so you can definitely listen.
Yeah, Valeria. Vadim he's telling us about his way, life way. No,
My way, yes.
my way.
Uh,
English way.
so if people ask me like, when you have to be on the stage, and usually you are taught to give your story, like you need to have a great story. Like, okay, so I'm sure that I don't even need to work on my story because my story is quite amazing. I lived with Americans. I had one American coming over here, so I rented an apartment for him. I asked him to live with him, and I paid half that rent just to have a lot
Practice.
of practice. Okay, so it was quite crazy. I was a very active coach, a surfer. I would go to Moscow just because I could find a couch, and that host was from Australia. I mean, I didn't need to go to Moscow, but I just went there. Yeah, yeah, kind of like that. Okay,
Surfing
surfing, yes.
in Moscow.
Yeah, yeah, that was crazy. Okay, but so I thought that it was my investment. I did everything just to get to their level. Somehow, I wanted to speak a lot, and so I knew people were complaining at that time, like, "Oh, I have no practice." I have, like, at that time. This is the time when a lot of websites started to spawn, like spawning, BZU, like all those websites where you can exchange. I teach you Russian, you teach me English, okay, like that, okay. Or I'm a good girl and you're an old guy, so what do we do? Maybe we can speak English, just just like that.
Have you ever
Uh,
used such sites?
No, never.
No.
I've tried. I've tried a few times, and so the person who I reached out to was not really interested. And I'm like, what? Why am I wasting my time? I can always find some Americans. And there's another thing. What I used to do, I would pay for a few classes. I would find an American and would pay for a few classes, and then try to become his friend. And you wouldn't charge a friend, right, for classes. I mean, why
It's a
would
good
you?
idea, yeah. And
Um,
did it work?
it worked in my case. Well, for a while, because they were coming and going. Some of them stayed here just to study for a short period of time, but it worked. I would always find just some kind of deal. Like I would say, like, hey, let's start this speaking club. I'll pay you, like that. And then so I organized that speaking practice for not only for myself but for people who paid. Um, so yeah, I mean, so now when I am, let's say I have reached this level when I can just uh, I can just practice myself. Okay, I don't need anybody. I can shoot a few stories and that's practice. I can make a video for students, that's practice. Okay, because you are speaking. You can learn a presentation, you can learn an article out loud, that's also practice. At that time, it was important just to pick up a lot of phrases, a lot of communication, because at the very beginning, like when you're just starting, you need to speak a lot. You really need to use the language you're studying, so you get this support. It's like they're feeding your hunger, so to speak. Then later, when let's say you're being pushed down the hill, you're like this. You have the snowball effect. You just cannot stop. You're going. It's very hard just to start, and then you're rolling. You're rolling. All right. Hopefully, that will inspire you. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can always find some kind of church.
Why
I
not?
think they are prohibited now, no?
Oh yeah. Well, we still have them. We still have them. Okay. They're not as loud and active as they used to be, and there are no more English classes because Russian Orthodox Church they started asking them for some kind of license. Okay, you want to teach people? Do you have a license for doing so? No, then you shouldn't do anything. Um, but again, you can have a lot of different things. Like one of them, you can go to listen to a sermon or sermon or service in English. Yeah, because there are a lot of different churches. Okay, you can help people. I understand that when you grow up, you don't want to have you like comfort, so you would better just pay and get what you need rather than just looking for options. Because it's hard to imagine, let's say, when you're 35 years old and you're spending some time with teenagers and students, and I mean, it looks quite weird, strange. Like, oh, I'm going to a museum with a lot of kids because I want to learn some English. Okay, and it's free. Just so like you're wasting your time because there are better ways. But at that time it was different.
Yeah, I think we had such kind of churches. We used to have, but now there are no foreign churches in our city, I think.
Plus now you have a lot of marathons. Yes, and so. But there's only one problem. You don't really know how effective they are, and plus, you will be speaking with yourself. I guess that's the main issue You need somebody who would listen, ask you, and that it would be natural. That's what I'm trying to do with students. I'm trying to make it natural. Is and thanks to my experience that I was not exposed to academic kind of teaching because I don't have this. So that's why Lynn and I we can think out of the box because we were not our mind is clear. We just don't have the system, and we come from people who learned the English language on our own. So, and I understand how boxed your thinking might be when you get this academic structure, this foundation, this platform. So then you try to build whatever you have on that foundation. So this is why, let's say that among some of our teachers, it's quite popular to attend different seminars where, let's say, invited, where you can meet one of those invited speakers from the UK, and they tell you how to work with teens and so on. But in reality, you don't get anything new because to me, it works this way. You want to teach me something, show me your results. Like, okay, if somebody comes to me and says like, Vadim, why is your course good? I can say like, look at those people, listen to them, listen to Julia. I don't need to sugarcoat. I don't need to sugarcoat this course because I can just show your results to somebody. But when people only talk about how it will be, but no significant results, they don't even know if it works. Because what we see in those books is beautiful, it's fantastic, but you still need to somehow apply those books, and how you apply them that really matters, because some teachers, they do everything from A to Z and it doesn't work. Some people, they have to combine different materials, and that's why there are a lot of methods and a lot of teachers, right? Because I'd say that nobody has, let's say, the full package of what you're looking for. It's some people have more, some people have less. More grammar, less speaking, a lot of speaking, maybe no grammar. Like what approach they use. Yeah, some people just fill out some forms and they think that it's going to help you. Some teachers, they play games with kids, and it becomes just some kind of entertainment. No English at all, because by playing and singing songs, you cannot teach somebody to speak. You can only have fun, and yeah, have fun. Educational fun, that's what I call it. But kids still find it hard to. I imagine like if my American teachers would have been just singing songs with me, I would not be speaking right now. I would be like, hello, 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 how are you? I'm good. I'm fine. And you? Okay. Daddy finger. What's your name? How are you? And learn from me. It's a game. Oh, yeah, just funny what people do. All right, guys, we just need to wrap it up. Okay, it's been a great pleasure to be a part of this amazing team. Cannot really fully express how helpful you have been throughout this course, because as a focus group, you did provide a lot of remarks or a lot of thoughts that we're definitely going to take on and improve this course. Okay, so we're just going to continue following each other, see what's coming new. Yeah.
Yeah.
And perhaps
Yeah, of course.
I will see your faces again in one of my other courses. Why not?
Courses.
Why
Why
not?
not?
Why
For
not?
a marathon, okay?
Why not?
Yes, so because you forget things, so you need to repeat.
Mm.
Uh, All right, guys. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, yes.
Thank you.
I'll miss you. I'll miss you so much. I'll
As
miss
soon
you
as
very
I'm
much.
in St. Petersburg, I will let you know. I
Great.
hope
Yes.
to see you in real life, Vadim.
Yeah, we're gonna meet. Okay, definitely have some fun.
I do believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
Thank you very much.
And okay, Tatiana, you can showcase your fur coat. So if you're on Instagram, then why don't you take a picture of that fur coat? You are in high heels, walking through your city.
In
We'll
summer.
help you to sell it.
Maybe, yeah, maybe it's time to sell it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or maybe you want it to be your kid's inheritance.
No, of course not.
Why not, by the way?
I think some flies will sooner eat it than I sell it.
Okay, that's funny. Good.
Thank you
Hi.
very much, Vadim.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so thanks for going through. And if you haven't completed something, I know Olga has. Tatiana, you're good.
No, Olga has done everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like Olga has done everything, but
Tatiana has done it as well.
okay.
Yes.
Thank
Good.
you.
I feel like I want to give you a few more
Thank you.
assignments, but we're good. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So